Hi everyone, I'm Huub Hildenbrand. Thanks for tuning into my channel, Huub Hildenbrand Guitar Academia. Today we have the second lesson of different paths we can take on the fretboard of the guitar using these three-note structures. And we are still in this course of these 19 possibilities, 19 possible three-note structures. And we have the second lesson of paths we could take on the fretboard with one structure melodically. So let's get right into the endless ocean of music. On this page you downloaded for last lesson, there is this page Triad Paths. If you missed this lesson, please go back to this lesson and watch and listen to this lesson first, and then come back to this lesson of today. Because on this page we already discussed points 1 to 4, and we go on now with points 5 to 8. And if you don't have this PDF downloaded, you can go to the last lesson. And there is a link down in the description below where you can download this PDF file. And for this lesson today, there's also a PDF file which we refer to a bit later. All right, Triad Paths. The idea of taking different paths, different ways, routes on the fretboard with a certain kind of 3-note, 2-note, 4-note structure or scale. The idea to take different ones is to get more and more familiar with these, with the notes, with the fingerings, and also learning the notes helps. I mean, these exercises really help a lot. This is process of learning the notes, because you have to know the notes to play them in all these different ways. And what I said, the idea is becoming more free with these three notes in this case. More just follow the music, just follow the intuition, the ear, and your finger will follow. And the finger can follow very quick because they already know the places, and they already have all these different paths. They know that they practice, they learn. So, of course, this is a procedure which takes more than a lifetime. So you can always be better at it, and it's always a good idea to always come back to some exercise, which are also, of course, like musical rewarding for you, and which are really connected with what you're actually playing when you play your music. But it's good to have some basic exercises and always improve this. It's not so much you learn a certain path on the guitar, like single strings, and then you can play it. It's more it has to grow in a way. You learn a certain form, a certain thing, and then you learn it and you do your stuff and your music, other things, composing, playing, improvising, whatever. And then you come back to these exercises, and then you do your music again. And with time, it will grow and it will pick up in here and there in your music, and you recognize this. Oh, okay, this is what I actually practiced, or this is 3-note structure. Oh, interesting. I can also play it in this way and then in that way. So your mind also gets more structured that way. And this process will continue forever. All right. So let's go to point 5 here. 1 tone per string. Closed positions. 3 possibilities. All right. The idea here is to have a more diagonal pass across the fretboard by playing play an arpeggio, and with every new note you play it on the new next string. And you have 3 possibilities because you have 3 different notes, so it's 3 different starting notes. You can start from B, what I just did. You can start from E, and we still take always this E minor triad. You can do this. And you can start from G. And when you go higher to the B here, it's the same position, the same pass as what you already did in the lower register. Also we have this, has some open strings in it. So of course it's very different and different to play than our pathway here, where we don't have open strings. But the shape, the whole order and visual image of this path is the same here. So you have just 3. You start from B, from E, and from G, and then all the other are just repetitions. And that's the number in brackets at point 5. It's a 3. So 3 possibilities. Now, number 6. Number 6 is... these are also, actually we discussed this also in the 4-note structures, but I will just repeat it because I don't want to go back to the 4-note structures, because I think also 4-note structures it's one level higher, one bit more difficult. So I repeat my explanations in a way. We have these different patterns, 1 plus 2, 2 plus 1, and 3 plus 0, and 0 plus 3. And it's meant, the first number is the amount of notes we play on the low E string. So for example, 1, we play just 1 note on the low E string, the G. The second number is the amount of tones of this 3-note structure, which we play on the A string. So 2, it's written there. 1 plus 2. So 1 on the E string and 2 on the A string. So this is our pattern. And the beauty of it, because the guitar is tuned in that way, that every other pair of strings is tuned in perfect fourths. I think you know what I mean. Maybe I didn't explain it right here. But anyway, so you have this pattern, and this same shape repeats on the next 2 strings. So what's played on 6 and 5 is repeated on 4 and 3, and it's repeated on 2 and 1. So these are also like very diagonal forms. We start here and we end here, so we have a huge range actually. But it's also kind of easy because we always have the same shape. And we can our fingerings we can sync in 2 different ways. One way is we just try to find an easy fingering. For example, with this, for example. What I do here, for example, is but we also can think of always keeping the same fingering for these three notes. So we have one, especially here on the high, when we go from the third to the second string, we have a kind of a leap. Okay, this is possible, or we just what I did before. It's just finding the smoothest, easiest, most natural fingering for that. Very easy and nice is this, of course. So let me proceed here first, and then I tell you what I just want to tell you. Then we have 2 plus 1. 2 plus 1 is, of course, it's just the other way around. We have 2 notes on the low E string, and then we have 1 note on the A string, and then the whole thing repeats. So this would be, for example, good one. And then we have these 3 plus 0 and 0 plus 3. That means we play 3 notes on the low E string, for example, or. And then we repeat the whole thing on the D string. I mean, we play 3 notes on the E string, then we play 0 notes on the A string, so we go directly to the D string and repeat the whole thing. G, B, E on the E string, G, B, E on the D string, and G, B, E on the B string. And this other pattern, 0 plus 3, is, of course, it's the same, always the same concept. No 0 notes on the low E string, 3 notes on the A string, so B, E, G. Then the whole thing repeats. 0 notes on the D string, and then 3 notes on the G string, 0 notes on 2, and 3 notes on the high E string, 1. So we have like. All right. The idea here is to have a kind of it's like a concept, or it's a system how you like it's a kind of a roadmap, you can say, the whole thing. It's a roadmap where you discover all the different ways how you can play these 3 note structures as arpeggios on the fretboard. It's not meant that you learn them all and be able to play them all inside out. No, it's, for example, this 0.6 here, 1 plus 2, 2 plus 1. Actually, this is something just to explore. You try to, you play these arpeggios like that, like these different patterns, and then you decide for yourself whether there are maybe some forms which are really cool, which really fit into your playing and into your thinking, and you explore in a way. And the other, you just forget. You don't care. Of course, sometimes you can go back to them and try to practice them again, like what I told you, like a medicine or something like that, like a vitamin. But there's so much to practice anyway, so you should not come back to that so often. Just explore and follow this roadmap, and then you make some you experience, and you make some how do you say it? Some explorations, and you find like very nice nice things, and these you just take home, and the other you leave. These 3+0 and 0+3 patterns, they are actually also not very useful for these major, minor, diminished, or augmented triads. They are very useful for certain other 3-note structures of these 19 possible ones. For example, of course, 0 plus or 3+0 is the easiest way to play the chromatic triad. So you have 2 half steps. So this is one 3-note structure. Of course, it's written D, C, D flat on this page with all these 3-note structures. But starting from here is like F sharp, G, A flat, F sharp, G, A flat, F sharp, G, A flat. So you have is very, very easy. It's easier than sometimes to really think to think in a strict position or an area or something like that. Yes. Okay. There's also in number 6. There's also written fast patterns sheets with Klopfer. It's German for hammer-on. It's my term, Klopfer. Because years ago I tried to translate everything in German because I felt more connected, and this is a kind of extra work I did, because now I put all this stuff back to English, because I think I have a wider audience here, and more people of our guitarists on our planet can enjoy this. So. An Abzieher is my German word for pull off. Yeah, let's. I have to explain it. It's written on this page. It will show up, of course, in other lessons where we really talk about hammer-ons and pull-offs, different patterns. There's a lot of stuff actually. But in this case, these sheets it's a term I heard in the context of when somebody talked about the music of John Coltrane. So like a sheet, like very quick run, or like an arpeggio or a scale, like very quick up or down scale, which actually is not really like a melody anymore, but more like a sound, a sheet of sound. So it's like whoa, like very quick movement, and it's more this that idea. So with hammer-on and pull-offs, you can for example take 1+2. Starting with B, with the 5th of the minor triad. So you play up, Ra, down, next string, and hammer on the 3rd. So you have so that's the idea of these sheets, and by checking all these different patterns, 1+2, 2+1, 0, 3+0, and so on, you can also find the ones which are suited for that. It's a big stretch, but it's also possible here. On this bonus PDF, where you find like these 9 different areas, arpeggio fingerings, for 9 different 3-note structures, which are very good, which are very suited to be played as arpeggios. Well, I put it also in this description below. There you will find the link to this file. And there you see in the first diagram, there you see with these arrows, these numbers 1 + 2 or 2 + 1. And this is actually exactly what we are talking about here. And I already analyzed these structures for that purpose also. And I put these numbers in the PDF file for every of these 9 3-note structures. So now you also understand these numbers, because I put it already in the last lesson, and I think maybe for a lot of people, a lot of you, of course it was not clear what does it mean. Now you know it. Okay, then we have a total range, approximately 2 notes per string. You can follow this approach very strict. You can say, okay, I really follow this very strict and play 2 notes per string, always. And in this case, it really works perfectly, because you really end up with the highest note and start with the lowest note. Of course, it depends on your guitar, how many frets you have, and also, of course, on the 3-note structure. It's not with every 3-note structure the same thing. But here you can really practice this. 2 notes per string. One more time. Again. The other idea, number 8, is just free combinations. So free combinations is, I think I heard this from Pat Metheny in an interview. The idea to just play this arpeggio up and down always, but always try to go different paths on the instrument. So it could, and you can just actually all the possibilities we already had when you see point 1 to 7. So what you just do is just you make combinations, and the more you know the notes on the guitar, the easier it will become. So. So this was a demonstration of just, and you just challenge yourself. I mean, you don't have to play it fast. You can also really play it slow. So 1 single string down, 1 position or area, then maybe a 2 + 1. You should not think, now I play 2 + 1, now I play area, now I play position. Just try to challenge yourself to move your hand in different ways. I mean, if I play, like for example, I can go up with my hand to the next note, but I can also go down. So this is more maybe the idea to sing. Go in this direction, go horizontal, then you stay in one place with your hand, and so on. Just challenge yourself and try not to repeat too much what you did. It's a cool exercise. Because it's a great preparation of later on to improvise, to be more free with the stuff. In this PDF of this lesson today, you find some tips for practicing. And these tips are are about practicing something of the whole range of the instrument. In this case, we are not talking about fixed paths. The only thing what we want to do is we want to always play from the lowest to the highest note and back, or vice versa. We start from the highest note, go back to the lowest, and go back to the highest. And we try to find, in a way, it's not so much about we try to challenge us, it's challenging anyway, and we try more to find good, smooth ways how to do that. And it's not, I never really fixed these things, so it's more like sometimes, of course, I use like certain areas I really learned and know, or some 1+2 position which I really know. But of course, you can't stick to it because you have to move, you have to go on, you have to go somewhere else. But this is actually a really good exercise to play up and down the whole range of the guitar. It's really you learn the notes, you challenge yourself, like the technique. And I collected some tips here which you should follow. Which you should follow when practicing that. And it's written there, practicing 2, 3, 4 note structure. So that's a mistake here. Or scales up and down over the entire range of the fingerboard. And so this this kind of practice goes for not only for three note structures. Let's go through these tips. Play as relaxed as possible. Loose. So try to really have the state of the body should be really relaxed and loose. Don't think, oh my God, I have to play all these notes from the lowest to the highest, and it's so challenging. So you're already tense. So really concentrate of being relaxed. Think about efficient use of the body. So small movements, and don't move too much with your whole body, because you play from here to here, so it can happen that you start like this and you end like this, for example. Try really to be relaxed and keep your body not stiff, but not. Actually, your hand is doing the whole work for you. Yeah, everything else you don't have to move so much. Also with your hand, don't do like, more, try to more. And really try to have a very loose feel. Don't force, don't try, don't use too much power, just play it more effortlessly. Feel it more effortlessly. And then also think about legato. That's the most difficult thing on the guitar. To really have no real pause between the notes. So not, but like a singer would sing it. It's more natural musically. Always make music. This is important. It's not you have to remember all these exercises. Of course, they have a purpose. You have to learn the notes and the technique and everything. But without music, the whole thing is worthless, you can say. And also, you can say, if you don't make music, if you don't practice music with all these exercises, it's a form of a mistake you're practicing, because you want to do music, so you have to really concentrate on the music you're producing. So so it should sound great to you. I mean, and also by the concentration on the music, you see that certain notes are maybe too loud or not really coming, and also how you go from the high register to the low register. That's also something you normally don't do too much, like all this whole range up and down. So it's quite a challenge to play this musically. And there are certain techniques or ideas what help, what will support a more musical play that's dynamic, and that's like this kind of micro timing. So to get quite rubato actually in this case, but also getting slower a bit, or accelerando, and dynamic. Yeah, I like to play this sometimes very loose in a way, like very rubato, very dynamic. Or you really try to play it really in time, but have just like this micro timing, just one note maybe a bit later, and focus more on also dynamic and stuff. But really focus on the music, focus on sound, and by doing that you also actually, you're also at the same time you're focusing on technique, because you see, oh, this is not sounding good, so you have to change your technique. So it's really connected. Practice. Oh yeah, think ahead. This is also very good, and this is actually really really good together with a next point. Practice the mental thinking ahead also very slowly and alert. And also the next point, visualize the next tone, and so on. So to do this very very slowly is a very good exercise. Really relaxed, alert, and pre-listen and pre-feel, think ahead every note. So I play, and then I'm thinking, okay, next is a G. It's there, and I play it with the second finger. Of course, you don't go through this whole process of thinking, but you just know the note, know where it is, and you know which finger, and you know which Ra or Da stroke. And then, if you think ahead, you can make a very quick movement, because you already know exactly what will happen. So you arrange everything, and also pre-listen. I mean, listen ahead, listen how the next note will sound, because then you can give the maximum expression to it. It's not you play it and you think, oh it sounds like that. Okay, maybe I played it too loud. No, you think more. You know how it sounds, and then inward. In your inner ear, and then you try to give this note the maximum expression you want to have it. You want to have. It's of course a very in practical music. This goes very very quick. It's like talking. You know, it's not like you know exactly what you will say in the next sentence. but you have an idea. You know what you want. You know what you want to bring across, and so the words will follow. But you have some. You're not just talking and then you think, oh, what did I say actually? Oh, okay. No, it's like you wanna say something. Okay, so so this exercise would be really to go slow and pre-listen, pre-feel, and then do a quick movement. Makes this movements a bit bigger that they're more clear. So that's why I hit the wrong. Anyway, so oops, again, I did it again. And sometimes wait till the inner picture, the inner image is getting more clear. You know, wait here and then really stay there. I mean, I'm sure you can play this note immediately, but the next note. But it's very good to just wait, and so that your brain has some time to build a more clear mental inner image of it, and this will help you later also when you play more quick, to have more you see more ahead, so you can shape the music. You are more in control also. That's a really like a control, being in control exercise. Later on, you can practice this with all the different chords. I mean, for example, you can go a cycle of cycle 4 with major triads. For example, you can play C major, going to F major. Stuff here, of course, and B flat major, E flat major, A flat major, D flat major, E flat major, and then C flat major or B major, it's the same in harmonic. E major. A major. Sorry. A major. D major. And then C major again. So the circle closes. So perfect, I mean, cycle of 4, perfect fourths, and just go through all possible major triads. You can do this with minor, with diminished, with augmented, or find different combinations of different triads to do this, or have just always alternating 2 different triads. whatever. You can do a lot of stuff with it, with that. And we will also go into these more practical musical ideas. What you can do with all this stuff, what you're learning here. We will go definitely later on in the course. Actually, we are now I'm now in a kind of a process where I try to give you, where I want to put out all this material I collected, and to be very structural and systematic with that, that you get all this basic concepts and stuff and so on, so that later on we will shape this more in a musical way, and we see these connections. We see, okay, we can combine a 3-note structure and a 4-note voicing, and then take a certain scale, and we call this like has a tonic function, and we can play this with a certain kind of a dara strokes and whatever. So it's later on we will connect this stuff more. That's why maybe sometimes these lessons in the first 1 or 2 years, I don't know how long it will take, maybe 2 years, will be maybe more bit dry, because we reduce the material to just one topic, and music is of course it's always a combination of topics. Of course, I mean it has, like, just playing like some seconds of music is already incorporating so many things, like dynamic, like rhythm, like technique, left and right hand, like which tonal material and microtones, maybe certain kind of techniques like a slide or hammer on and so on. And we are, in a way, we have this whole animal, this music animal, and we just kill it, and we put it into its smallest parts, and we analyze it, and later on what's of course not possible anymore in real life, but in music it's possible to put all these parts together again, and then we have this whole animal, and we can shape it. We can make different kinds of animals out of it. That because we know how it works and how it functions, and so we can mess around with it. Okay, that's a nice picture. Okay, I hope you like this lesson here on Guitar Academia. If so, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. There will be a video released every Friday, every week. And also there's a possibility to donate to support my work here on this channel. This would be really cool. I would be really happy if you are really enjoying the lessons and think, wow, that's a great thing, and I want to support him. So thank you for that. Okay, so thanks for watching. My name is Huub Hildenbrand.